Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. There's been a few fights lately where one guy has shown incredible guts, incredible determination, refusal to lie down, but just hasn't been good enough to win the fight. You know, they're just out of their depth, and you have to hold your hands up and say sometimes the other guy was just better. I gave it everything, but the other guy was better. And such was the case when Ireland's FEARGAL McCRORY took on LAMONT ROACH Jr. for Roach's WBA super-featherweight title. And FEARGAL McCRORY came into the fight 16-0, no draws. You look at his record, he hadn't really fought anyone, it was journeyman. This was a huge jump up. Roach came in with 24 wins, 9 KOs, 1 defeat, 1 draw. The defeat was to Jamel Herring 5 years ago, but that was for the WBO super featherweight belt. But he's come on in leaps and bounds since then, because in his last fight, he won the WBA super featherweight title against Hector Luis Garcia. That was a split decision, 12-round decision. And this was his first defense. And even though he does not have the reputation as being a heavy-handed fighter, it's just as well he hasn't, because FEARGAL McCRORY shipped some astonishing punishment to the point where it got awkward to watch. You were thinking, okay, the referee can step in now. In fact, it was ended in the 8th round, 2 minutes 40-something into the round, but it could have been stopped at least 2 rounds earlier. McCRORY had been on the floor 3 times. He'd taken, like I say, horrendous punishment. And if Roach Jr. was a banger, might have been a little bit more merciful for McCRORY. Roach just had too much of everything for FEARGAL McCRORY. Roach is 28 years old. He's I think he's from Washington, District of Columbia, but he resides in Maryland. Very, very close to each other, but he has improved, and clearly he's in his prime. And he's got very good skills, either at range or up close, because McCRORY did what he really only knows how to do, which is he came straight forward, was looking to come in the front door and let his hands go, fire hurtful punches. But at no point did he stagger Roach Jr. I mean, McCRORY's got eight wins inside the distance in his 16 wins. He's 31 now, so he's probably as good as he's going to get. So not really a big puncher himself, more of an attritional puncher. But where the edge that Roach Jr. had was in accuracy and just technique. He was just so much slicker, so much craftier, higher ring IQ. McCRORY didn't know what LAMONT ROACH Jr. was going to do. He didn't know where the punches were coming from, whereas Roach Jr. did seem to know where McCRORY's punches were coming from. He was easy to read, to be honest, McCRORY. You'd have thought he wanted it up close and personal with Roach, but in fact, Roach was winning on the inside pretty much as well. Now, in the 3rd round, there was the first knockdown, which was a check left hook from Roach, perfectly timed. Timing was another thing where Roach just left McCRORY standing. Check left hook. McCRORY sort of staggered sideways, put his fist on his glove on the canvas, definite knockdown. But it was the 4th round, at the end of the 4th round, it was only about 15 seconds left, where Roach Jr. landed a hellish right hand to the pit of the stomach. Again, perfect accuracy, perfect timing as McCRORY was coming in, and McCRORY fell to his knees. He got up, and then with the next punch was floored again by a hellacious left hook to the liver. Again, if LAMONT ROACH Jr. was a harder hitter, McCRORY would have been out of there and then. But in fact, he had to suffer another 4 rounds of punishment, nearly 4 rounds of punishment. And he was just systematically beaten up against a guy who has rapidly become quite an underrated champion. Like I say, this was Roach's first defense of the title. But he's got some skills. You know, don't dismiss this guy. I think he can hang on to that belt for quite some time, because he was looking very, very intelligent in there. Nothing was wasted. Very, very calm, cool. Towards towards the end of the fight, so we're talking rounds 6, 7, 8, you do get the impression Roach was sort of becoming tired by just hitting McCrory. And McCrory was wobbling and staggering and just kept coming back with punches. But you got the feeling that Roach was thinking, how the hell is this guy still standing up? I'm getting tired hitting him. Because it was that type of resiliency from McCrory. I'd have liked to have seen the referee step in a couple of rounds sooner. I'd certainly have liked to have seen the corner pull their man out. I mean, at the very latest after the 7th round, but they let him out for the 8th. And then, like I say, 2 minutes 40, whatever it was, into the round, I think the towel came in from the corner, not before time. Thankfully, I think McCrory's okay, because it was one of those fights where you're watching it and the last 2 or 3 rounds you're thinking, this guy's going to get seriously hurt. I was a bit disappointed in the referee, I think, to be honest with you, because it wasn't a case of one punch, sending the guy sprawling. This was more, even though he was floored 3 times, it was a case of the accumulation of punches, which is often how you end up with with brain damage. There is no, all brain damage is serious, but you know what I mean, more than just a standard concussion, which is brain damage. Concussion is, of course, brain damage. But I was thinking the ref should step in here, because there are too many punches being landed. It's that attritional value, and one thinks back to Maxim Dadashev or Patrick Day or any of the recent fatalities of the last, say, 5 years. Fortunately, McCrory got out of it, but he needs a complete overhaul, a complete MOT, neurological MOT and otherwise. At 31, he's, like I say, he's probably as good as he's going to get. Probably won't get any better. He lost his unbeaten record, but he has nothing to be ashamed of at all, because he fought his heart out, fought like a challenger should. And Roach fought like a champion should as well. He did very, very well. And he's getting better, getting better. So this fight was on, I think it's called Pro Box TV. It's very good, very, very good. They have a card on YouTube every fortnight, every other week, I think, on a Thursday or a Wednesday or Thursday, something like it's either a Wednesday or a Thursday. I think they vary it slightly, but they have some good fights on there, and it's free. It's on YouTube, so go and have a look at it, because it's still on there now. Fight's worth watching, but you might have to watch some of it through your fingers. Anyway, let me know what you think. What do you think of Roach, Lamont Roach Jr.? How far do you think he can go? How far do you think he compares against the other champs at super feather? Maybe he'll move up to lightweight eventually. That'd be interesting, but the guy is underrated, I think. Very much underrated. Anyway, thank you for your time. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new, and hit the like button if you're a new subscriber, or if you like the video. And if you didn't like the video, go and be generous. Hit the like button anyway. They count them. It's all about algorithms. All right. Catch you later then. Bye for now.